Welcome back to our podcast, Licensed and Unsupervised with Naomi and Becky. Yes. Hello, welcome back.
You can push the buttons. Oh, I can hear it. I have headphones.
I do not.
So yesterday, I had a few cancellations, and so with my time, I decided to bother everyone all day.
It was fun.
It was so fun. I really got under some people's skin, and but I knew
in a funny way though.
Yeah,
lighthearted. There will be content from it.
Yes,
you make it sound like you were just running around being annoying and pissing people off for real.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But so one thing I did do prior to leaving. Oh, did you push a button?
I didn't. I'm looking at them so that way I know what
I think it's a fun surprise though if you do, because you don't know what it's going to be, and I'll just laugh because I'll hear it.
The next purchase in my Amazon cart, or I will be smuggling some headphones for my son.
Oh yeah, just get these ones. They seem real good. They're for gaming, I think.
He games. He's got a few pairs. Maybe I can get some from him.
I think these might light up somehow, but I don't.
That could be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Anywho,
moving on.
Topics.
So I did circle around because one of the feedbacks I got was to stay on task, like to stay on topic potentially. And I was like, that's not this podcast, guys.
They're trying to supervise us. That's what's happening.
That is. And so
okay.
That's right. So we gave them parameters, some boundaries. Okay, so I'll read you all the subjects and then we'll just choose one together.
Okay. All right.
So why do we do hair? Art versus people. Okay. Why people feel themselves in some styles or colors, like why people feel like comfortable,
like they're like happy about
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Why after certain traumatic events people need their hair done. Favorite guests through the years. Why changing your hair gives you back your power. And can I just say your apprentice said that?
She's amazing.
Are you kidding me?
Literally. You want to know why? Because she recently had the little bang trim. And upon, she got bangs, but they're not even it's not a passive commitment, but enough. And then she had two other people do more of them and was literally I don't know, it just gave me some confidence. I've had this weird confidence since getting them. Such a slight little change.
It was interesting to watch from my perspective because I don't think she felt confident initially. She kind of felt it. I watched her feel a little less herself for a minute.
Yeah. So she came back a day later and told me that.
Yeah.
She was now that I think it was she did them, we did them, she was here, and then maybe had a day or so, and then the following day, she was out in the world. And then when I asked, okay, how's it going? And, what's the reviews of things?
Yeah.
And she got negative from the people in her immediate home, but that's a par for course. That's not a
people don't like change.
People don't like change.
Yeah.
And some people don't like it even more than others in terms of people's looks. So
sure.
Anyway, but everywhere else she went, everyone loved it. And so she was like, I have this, but she had said even with all the other stuff, she was like, it's making me feel more confident. I was
love it. Okay. That's what we do here every day.
Yes.
Okay. So then I have some other subjects from some other people. One subject is Ryan.
No one knows who Ryan is yet.
You will learn.
Yes.
Another subject is Alex, and she told me that this is a subject we should discuss.
Wait, Alex said
Alex.
And Alex would be okay with this.
I had no follow-up questions. I said, what are the podcast subjects me and Becky should discuss tomorrow?
And that's it.
And Ryan said, Ryan. And Alex said, Alex. And I said, I am writing this down as you're talking. And they both did not say anything else. And I did not ask follow-up questions. So I feel like carte blanche.
I can read now. I know what I pushed.
All right, cool. Yeah. And then they continued with wigs. Do you or don't you? Why and when? So I think wigs has really come into our industry in kind of a big, robust way in the last maybe 2 years, at least in our space. In our space, and then we do a lot of the editorial aspect of things and the high end. And so I think when you're dealing with the more high end, you do deal with more of a wig situation. So I think they just want to learn more and understand more. And so, and then the shift of the industry, how the policies and such have affected the industry. But the topic before that was politics.
They're trying to get us canceled on day one.
Yeah, we're not going to discuss politics. We can touch on them occasionally, but like only how it affects us navigating our team,
our space, and our team.
Yeah,
and I think because I don't know about you, but I was taught about politics, like in regard to hair. That was like a number one thing that you were taught: do not talk to your clients about. Like, it was just like a non. We have a sign in our salon here. I'm looking at it right now. It's a cute little thing that says politics, and it has a slash through it. She's going to grab it so those of you watching can see. That's what we have up front. And it's funny because, it's small enough, but it's right there when people are signing in, and people notice it because even when they think they don't notice it, like if they start talking about something, even if we're all cool, like I don't care. To me, whatever you want to talk about in the chair space that I am in, like, I'm game because it's your space, you're paying me. Yeah, that's my view. I know not everybody has that view. I mean, unless you're being like a total a-hole, like for real. But I've never experienced like a just straight up. Maybe you have. I don't know. Have you experienced like a straight up a-hole in your chair?
Yes.
Like for real, was just like trying to talk and be a jerk, like intentionally. You think?
Yes. So, I have a follow-up question for you on this. Did you work behind the chair when we reopened after COVID?
Oh, good point. I was in a suite for a little, so I was insulated a little. And of course, I had people who had lots of opinions. In fact, the funny fact, I had a client who thought I, A, couldn't read, and B, never watched the news because we were shut down for so long. Yeah. Every other week, here comes in my messaging. I really saw the governor said that you guys are open, like trying to convince me.
Try to gaslight you
into opening. And now, while I can appreciate the need for great coverage and the desire to feel your best while you're walking through COVID, sure, I had to keep reminding her, like, this is my license on the line. I am not doing this. And so I came up with another alternative system where I could leave like just enough of their color on my porch. They would come get it, and then they would call, and we would do a video call, and I would model on one of my kids' pretend color and like show them what to do, and they would figure it out. Because they were harassing me. Not in a, but, so yeah, she kept, but every other week. I heard Governor Whitmer say that you guys are back open, and I was like, really?
She didn't say that.
She didn't say that, and then when I started challenging her, like, when? And she was like, oh, just the other day. And I was like, I have a license. I would have gotten an email as well. She then backed off and was like, I know, I'm just trying. So,
I had the UPS driver ask me if I would do his wife's hair because at the time, I had a chair at my house. Yeah. And so we had moved it to the garage. And then I had, like, I don't even know who I did in the garage. I can't even remember. It was like maybe just like Aunt Gloria or something. Like just
like your
family. Like people that I was willing to be in that space with during that time. Yeah. And so he would see that there's a chair there and be like, can my wife come in? I'm like, no. And he asked often. And I was like, I can't touch my mom. I'm not touching you, weirdo. I'm not touching you, weirdo. Like, what?
But so to your point about politics and that, no, I did not. But I just remember, you learn, like, don't talk about that. So I'm cracking up that they're like, we're going to talk. We want you to talk about, this is not a political show. This is fun. This is bucket filling for us. Yes. And we're licensed and unsupervised. And what I said was, I go, oh, they're trying to supervise us. By giving us topics. No, because they said we needed to stay on track, which is valid, and I support that, George.
I agree. Anyway, moving on. So we have 4 more things. So 4 more potential subjects, which is how have the clients changed? Like, we've both been doing hair for 20 years. Like, so they were interested in, like, how have clients changed in the 20 years we've been doing? How have things changed? How have the stylists changed? Maybe not today.
They're not ready. You're not ready. You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth. Specializing in services, like, when did that start? Because we're both generalists. Yeah. And I think that could be something we discuss. And then the last subject,
oh my gosh, before you
was Chroma Daddy. Yeah. So we haven't even breached it.
We have not.
We didn't breach it also. I feel like we could breach that quickly and then, like, come back when we bring him on. For sure. Because, like, if you want to learn more, follow the Instagram Chroma Daddy. Yes. At Chroma Daddy, and you'll learn more. But, so, who is Chroma Daddy?
Chroma Daddy is a local hair artist who created his very own brand of vivid color. And it really blew up, to say the least, in the last, I think it's been, it's been 2.5 years is all?
I don't even know if it's fully hit 2 years for him.
Yeah.
It may be a little longer for him.
For him, like, in terms of the genesis, but basically was just wanting to produce something that was for the artist and like had us in mind, and then also for anyone can get their hands on it because it is a temporary, I use that term loosely, semi-permanent color. You know, it's a vivid, it's a direct color. Yeah. And he has done a lot of really cool things. Most of the colors, or a lot of the colors, glow under black light, which is a really cool feature. They're super conditioning, etc. And we have been using them in the salon since I have been
for a year and a half.
Yep. Yeah. And then we are getting ready to start something really fun and new.
Yes. So one of the things that has been cool is like I met Matt Matt's the owner, and I met him by just going in his DM saying, hi, we should be friends. And it just
because Ryan said you needed to be friends. Ryan, you're getting
subject.
Ryan was the link.
Yeah, so Ryan came in. He was friends with some of the people here. He visited. He was wearing it. And I was like, you know, whatever. And he was like, you got to be friends. And so, yeah. And then here we are, a year and a half later. We've done photo shoots, shows, stage shows. We've done, so many different things with him. And basically what's happened is he and I synchronously work well together. And so people he brings on, people I bring on seem to kind of work well together, and it's a very neurodivergent system that somehow is working well.
It is.
Almost the entire creative team, we're all neurodivergent, autistic, or ADHD of some kind, and so I think my realization and going into that for me has been my help in when it's been, advising or anything, because I've owned my business a lot longer, and so kind of coming in and helping with that organization part of like, I know, I remember feeling that way at the beginning of owning my business, but moving on. Anyways.
But yeah, you've helped a lot in that area.
But the exciting thing this year with Chroma Daddy and BA is we're actually starting like an actual signed partnership of sorts, where we are introducing a DIY experience to the public. Yes. And I think that this is really cool because it is fulfilling a dream for Matt that I didn't know he had, which was to bridge the gap between the professional, vivid people and the at-home DIYers. Yeah. Which also brings me to another question. Do you think that it's okay that we call it vivid versus fashion colors? And the reason I ask is because there is one brand that does call theirs the Vivids. Yeah. And they were kind of one of the original for professionals. Yes. Manic Panic is like the spearheader, the Tish and Snooki like started it all. Yeah. And so I've started noticing on Instagram people are calling them fashion colors instead of Vivids. But why? Do we know the why behind that part? I believe it's because if you say Vivid, you might be referring specifically to a brand. Oh. Because. Really? Yes. Huh. Because Pravana has Vivids is their name. They are, I know. Yeah. Because that's what I used forever. Same. That is interesting. So I think that because I used Pravana for so long. Yeah. Because I used Pulp, I used Danger, but I've been a Pravana girl pretty much the whole, I used Illumin. I tried. I feel like I tried them all. But I was not a DIYer. No. I wasn't a DIY. Like, you might think I was, but I truly wasn't. I wasn't until I did box color after I was 18. And I did like coppers and browns, but like I was in a I'm trying to imagine copper. Oh my god, I didn't do anything crazy until way later. Same. Yeah, I didn't either. Being a natural ginger, my parents like condemned me to want to do anything. And here I was in junior high and had two aunts that were going to cosmetology school. And I was being like it was like a tortured soul. They wouldn't let me get any haircut though. And I was not attached to my hair like that. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, give me the new cut, give me the new whatever. And then I was a whole 18 years old because they told me I had to wait till I was 18. And I was starting cosmetology school.
And I went to my aunt and I was like, can you do me? I thought I was the coolest thing ever. And you would have thought I would have dyed my whole head black or purple or something. It was just a nice little underneath peekaboo of blonde. That was it. But you couldn't have told me anything different. I was walking around like I had pink hair.
So fun fact, the first time my hair was hot pink was an accident.
Oh.
Yeah, so I worked at the Olive Garden. And I was with my husband now already, and we were young, 22 maybe. And so I had blonde box dye and like lemon juice and sun and blonde hair. And I also am a natural redhead, but I'm much darker.
Yes.
And so, so I've got this like, and I decided I'm going to get the Feria box of like,
oh boy,
like really pretty ruby red. And it's gonna be so pretty. And so I'm gonna do it before work, and then I'm gonna showcase.
Of course you are.
My luscious red hair, gorgeous natural red hair, because natural tones were still required at that time to work at the Olive Garden.
Oh my gosh.
So, needless to say, my hair turned hot pink. In so many weird ways, and I panic because I don't know anything, and I am working at the Olive Garden. That's all of my existence is in that. So I call and I say, my hair's hot pink. I can't come to work.
What did they tell you? Did they for real say?
For real. Oh, come fix it.
Gasp.
Yeah.
So how did you fix it? I'm sort of scared.
I called my mom, as one does, because my mom went to beauty school when she was in high school.
About that.
Yeah, because a lot of moms went to beauty school when they were in high school back then.
Okay.
Like,
was a thing.
Yeah. And so, she went to beauty school once, so obviously she knows how to fix my hair, color correction, and like, I'm sorry, Mom.
Oh, man, you're good mother.
I know. I was not the best. Anyways, so she says put ash on it, because that's what she knows. And like, she wasn't fully wrong, I guess, because she pulled from her data.
Yeah.
I don't know how it ended. I don't remember. That's really the only part
about
it.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Were you ever able to work at the Olive Garden again?
Yes, I made it darker.
So you must have made. I'm thinking in my head like it had to have been just darker,
like there's
a darker brown.
Yeah,
to cover that.
I probably just like tried to cover it and made it muddy first, and then like ended up with what seemed like black hair because it started as blonde in the morning. And then I went to beauty school 2 years later, and I never went to a hairstylist in between that time.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't grow up going to hair salons, so I was like, that's not for me.
You're like, oh. And then you own one. That's hilarious, but very cool.
Yeah. So having a DIY thing was never in my mind.
Okay.
Like I didn't think it wasn't a need for me growing up. It wasn't something I needed ever. I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. I don't care what you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't the DIY person either because I was told I could not, and that no one colors their hair when you have that color of hair. You don't go that.
Right.
So I didn't do that. They would let me get perms. They were letting because I wanted curly hair, which was fine. But so being not a DIYer, I kind of have adopted this philosophy that I didn't even realize I had. I think in our industry, as in terms of clients, you are either one or the other. There are very few people who fall like in the middle gray space. One area of people is I would never dream of touching my own head. I don't know what I'm doing. It terrifies me to even snip a little bang, anything. And then the other camp is like, I can do this shit, no problem. And they they have no fear about cutting their bangs or their hair or trimming it when it's wet, flipped upside down when they're out of the shower, or putting a color on. Like, I don't know too many people who live in the middle space, at least in my 24 years by the chair. I agree with that. So I feel like for me, looking at you, and you were sort of taught, like, I'm not a snooty person, but I was probably pretty snooty when I started because I knew every damn thing. Yeah. And I knew now what professional things were. And I had ran, in school, they had us test things with, what are those strips called? Litmus strips or whatever.
For like the pH.
For the pH. And you learned about why that was important. And you knew the science behind it. So then I was like, you mofos using this shampoo. You suck.
Like, I know. Like, Pantene is the worst But
it actually kind of is.
I mean,
it is the hair. That's why it's a fake out.
I know.
I just think it's.
I think that there's just so many falsehoods out there because I don't think it's a blanket statement.
Valid. That's valid. Well, it depends on anyone.
So many things are not blanket statements.
That's true.
All things are not.
I don't know. I'm scared. I will only say, I don't know. Don't use Pantene though. I would just say if there's other ones, you know, because that's the one. What it does is it fakes just because everyone's going to be like, what the hell?
I know. Yeah.
You can use other off-brand or something at the grocery store, but Pantene has a bad rap in our area because it has ingredients in it that it fakes you out, right? Your hair, you use it, it feels so luscious and so silky, and so you get this false sense of what's happening because it simply has coated your hair. And I watched my aunt one time take layers through a stripping process off of someone's hair, and it was just buildup from shampoo and conditioner from Pantene specifically. Right. So, and then your hair's left fragile because nothing good could get in, and the cycle, all that. Anyway, so I blame other ones that don't do that, though.
I agree with everything you said. And I went down a rabbit hole the other day, like last week, about this.
Okay.
Because these stylists were teaching a class about how that wasn't true. I know. And I was like, okay, I'll listen. Yeah. Let me educate myself then. Let me learn what you're saying. So I think what it is if you are the person that does your hair at the salon and you go to the salon regularly, like you're here every 6 weeks, we're washing and conditioning your hair, we're coloring it, we're doing all the things. Pantene might not be the worst thing because you're not allowing it to build up.
Valid. Because you're having other things that are taking it off. You're not getting that buildup.
Because you're still getting the assist from the professional. If you're a DIYer using Pantene, that's the experience you're going to have.
Because you have buildup of not if you're box coloring, or if you're doing any,
Which leads me to, actually, my client yesterday told me on the subject that we should discuss.
Oh.
Which leads
more
me
feedback. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Because she asked me, she texted me, she goes, should I wash my hair before I come in today? And I was like, okay, absolutely not. And I can't wait to talk to you about it. She goes, I think that should be a subject in your podcast. And I was like, okay, let's talk about it more. Because it's different for everybody, I feel like. My opinion is not the same for everyone. So for her, she gets a level 1, which is black. Yeah. So, and a level 1 with black is going to have so much pigment in it. And it's going to have just so much robustness to it. Load. And then she has some gray, so I'm going to go ahead with a good 20 volume. She doesn't have a ton of gray. She feels that she does.
But she wants it covered.
Yeah, so I use so I kind of go in very robustly. So her washing her hair is not going to affect or not affect my result. I don't feel right. Now, for example, if she was a bleach and tone, I would then feel like we need to maybe have you wash your hair before you come in, because I feel that, like we talked about before, our products are more gentle and our water is harder. Valid. So if we're doing blonde and our water is harder, there could be minerals on your hair that have been sitting there, especially if you've washed your hair a couple of times and you haven't done a good cleanse. Like a lot of people wash with conditioner for a couple of days too. So if you come to me with blonde hair that's been unwashed for 4 days, there's actually a possibility that can shift your highlight. Yeah. And or just make the lightener because lightener can be tough, right? Absolutely. Like it can come in like robust, as you said, with the like level 1 hair. But, example, okay, normal hair lifting, you're lifting through if you're coming from, let's say you're coming from pitch black hair, right? Yeah. Which most people do not have actual pitch black hair, but let's just say you are, you're going through all of the reds, you have to get through all the coppers, and then you have to get to the yellows and pale yellow, depending on how light you're going. And if you have a ton of water junk on your hair, we'll just call it that. Right. That, like copper is in our water, and it's red, it's copper. It is orange. 100%. And so if you're just overloading that level, and orange lives at like level-ish 7, which a lot of people that want a softer, more muted blonde, or, honey or whatever, you're just causing that to be even more coppery, and maybe that's not the end goal, so it's causing more of a challenge at times. That's valid. What's interesting though is our clients that have experience with box color believe that they don't have to wash their hair to come in, because, and I did do some research on this several years back, the boxes tell you not to wash your hair before you apply it, because a lot of the box colors have 30 and 40 volume in them. Which, fun fact, I don't know if you know, it's not legal to do that.
Legally, they're only allowed to have 20. And that's why if you are trying to go super light and you have super dark hair, you end up with orange or red. And you're like, what the heck? It didn't turn that blonde on it because it wasn't powerful enough for your hair.
Yeah.
So
in general,
colors that are,
like the box colors were so harsh back in the day. Like,
they still, I did when I was an educator at Paul Mitchell, my first ever core class, I had 20 people in this core class. We were not in a large room at all, but it was the best group of people ever. For their core party. So you go through core, which is like where you learn all of your basics before you go on the floor and start taking real people. They wanted at their party, they're like, you have talked so much about box color and like, you know, because we see it all the time. They're like, can we play with it? I go, box color? They're like, yeah. So I gave one of them my card. I sent them down we were in a strip mall that was down from a Dollar General.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I want you to buy a box bleach blonde. I want you to buy a box red and a box black. Dude.
Can we do this with our apprentices?
We should, and we will. That bleach, they boiled it on, you know, and of course, I'm looking at it like they're just getting more practice at technique. It wasn't about the end result. So they're boiling away, taking turns, and then they do the red and the black, and then I have them go back and start to take off. That blonde one, it made the foils so hot that it was like a curling iron. And all it was this box blonde and it was so hot to the touch. So you would have thought, oh, it's probably obliterated the hair, lifted it super light. Nope, barely did anything. But what was happening in there? Craziness. So and I have watched with people's well water. I have watched like professional lightener be on people's heads with saran wrap and then watch smoke start happening and bubbling and green things coming out because they were, come to find out, there was more, chlorine and different things where they were and more words. Hair holds so much.
And I need to know what's on your head. If I'm going to put chemicals on your head,
I know.
I'm putting chemicals that can burn and smoke on your head, and you're just blindly trusting me. I mean, license, you should, but at the same time, like,
there's a lot that we don't know. But also that speaks to test stranding. I feel like in my career, feel like I was super good at it for a while and then kind of dipped off of it because you start to get comfortable with the people that are, Well, you have people coming, they're not getting anything done at home or doing anything so you don't have to. But then, if you have somebody new and your gut is telling you something or you're just unsure, there's a lot of things.